Take our little keychain. Just like that, we got fire. All right, home sweet home, such as it is. Hi friends, hey, welcome back to the Expeditionary Johnny channel. Hey, if you're new to my channel, you'll see here that the theme to my channel is to help remove obstacles to getting outdoors. Typically, I'm thinking of things like time, ideas, and maybe equipment, all right? Okay, today we're going to be talking about shelters. Now, I love talking about shelters because that is what gave me the confidence to go out further on unfamiliar trails and unfamiliar locations. So when we're talking about shelters on regular day hikes or just a regular stroll through the woods, we're typically thinking about maybe you twisted your ankle, you got injured somehow and you can't get out, or maybe you've gotten disoriented and you're not going to make it out before it gets dark. You're probably going to be uncomfortable for the evening, but there are some things that you can bring with you that's not a big ask to bring with you, just to kind of help you get through the night, okay? All right, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on demonstrating how to make a fire. I'm just including this to let you know that this should be part of your thought process in case you get stuck out, okay? You'll need some type of shelter and you'll need some way to stay warm. And it doesn't take a lot, okay? So all I have is some Vaseline soaked cotton balls, and I can store those in my little Wazoo cash cap. All right, it's got little pockets, or you can put in your backpack or whatever else, but you can see this is no big deal. And we're gonna use our Swiss Army knife and our ferro rod on my keychain to get that fire started. Open up the awl on our Swiss Army knife. Take our little keychain. Just like that, we got fire. Okay, so you can see we got our fire going. All right, so let's go ahead and turn our attention to making a shelter. All right, the first thing is we want to set up a ridge line, and which is where we grab about a 25 to 35 length of paracord and we run that from tree to tree. Now, I got this straight from Pathfinder Learning Center, which is run by Dave Canterbury. Now, while we can switch out some of the materials as far as our cover, this is one I would not recommend deviating from. This works great, it's super easy, and let me show you why. All right, so we have our length of paracord all ready to go. You see it's all hanged up, it fits in your backpack nice and easy, and believe it or not, it comes back together super easy. All right, so on one end here, the part that we pull out, there's a fixed loop, and there's a reason for that. So let's go ahead and I'll show you how it works. So what we do is we pull out our paracord like so. We wrap it around the tree. Now you could feed the paracord through this fixed loop, but there's a better way to do that. Take a stick. If you bend your paracord in half, make a bite, you can feed that through your fixed loop. Take your stick, feed it through here, and then we just ratchet it down like so. Now you've got it attached to your tree, and it's going to hold real solid-like. And later, this is going to come apart extremely easy. All right, so the next thing we have to do is we need to attach our ridge line to a second tree, okay? And we do want to get a fair amount of tension on this. So this one, we're going to use a trucker's hitch to get what they say is a mechanical advantage. So what we're going to do is take our original line here. I'm going to kind of turn my hand like this, give it a twist like that. It's going to create a loop. And I'm going to lay it down on this line, all right? Then I can kind of pull it up and see how that creates a loop. Now the great thing about the trucker's hitch is when you're done, you just pull it apart like that. But when it's under tension, like so, we can pull this way and it's going to stay taut. So let's feed our line through this loop. Let's give it a yank. So here comes the fun part. How do we tie this thing off? There are a couple different ways. First, I'll show you the way I learned at Pathfinder Learning Center with Dave Canterbury. If that doesn't work for you, I'm going to show you another way. So the first thing what you want to do is kind of drape your line across these two lines right here, pinch them together, and then pull this up through here. And see, it holds just fine. Now, it comes apart really, really easy, like so, okay? All right, for me, I like to carry a little bit of extra paracord because you just never know how far the spacing on the trees are, and I don't really want my shelter too close to the tree, and so I don't want to spend too much time figuring out where to place my trucker's hitch. So what I do is I do the trucker's hitch, I go ahead and pull it tight, then I wrap it around the tree. Now, depending on the amount of cordage I have, I might do it a couple times. All right, so now this is nice and tight. It didn't give one bit. I didn't have to worry about pinching. Now, how do I finish it off? What I like to do is go ahead and do a top line hitch on the ridge line. Let me show you how to do that. All right, to finish it off, what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw my working end over our ridge line a couple times. Once, twice. See, we got 2 loops. This is going to help create some tension. Now, I'm going to take the working end over this one line. So this is the part that's coming from the tree. Lay it over there. Go underneath our ridge line and feed it through there. Like so. All right. Now this is actually going to hold under tension. I pull it out this way, it's going to stay in place. All right. So we got a solid ridge line. All right, let's make our first shelter, and it's going to be the poncho shelter. Now, why am I choosing this? One, because the poncho has dual purpose. If it rains, okay, it's going to keep you dry while you're walking around. Okay, so that's a good thing. All right, so you can see I've got the poncho draped over the ridge line. I'm going to set it up in like a A-frame configuration. It's going to end up looking a lot like a regular tent. Okay, so you'll notice on my poncho, I don't have any grommets right here in the middle. So the question is, how do we attach that to our fixed loop? Not a problem. I happen to have walnut trees around here, so I'll grab the walnut. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put it underneath my poncho and pinch it up, and then I'm going to attach it to our fixed loop. Now, how to do that? All you do is you take your 2 fingers in like so, twist it, and see how it creates a loop. I can now go put that around our walnut, tighten it up, and when I pull where our prusik knot is, that's going to tighten it up and hold. Let's do the same thing on the other side. All right. While I'm not going to spend a lot of time on knots, I will try to show you the prusik knot. Okay, so we take where we tied the 2 ends together, put that off the side. We're going to drape our fixed loop over our ridge line, and then we're going to go ahead and wrap our cordage around here a few times. Once, twice. All right, make sure we dress it, keep it nice and neat, and then do it a 3rd time. See how we've got that all dressed up? Now we go ahead and bring it in tight like so. And so now what you have is a line that slides back and forth on our ridge line, but it holds under pressure. That's because we've wrapped it around so many times. So unless you want to whittle down some tent stakes, you might want to bring about 4 tent stakes with you. All right, home sweet home, such as it is. So you can see this would actually be plenty of room for me to lay down and sleep. Okay, might be uncomfortable, but at least I'd be out of the elements somewhat. All right, so this time we're going to do a plow point configuration. So what we're going to do is take our fixed loop that we have attached to our ridge line, run that through the grommet of our poncho. This time I'm going to go ahead and take a stick, feed that through here. That's going to hold this end in place. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach 3 corners to the ground, and we're going to have a plow point shelter. All right, so you can see in this configuration, I have protection on 3 sides. Really good, nice and low. On this side, I can get out and feed the fire, stay warm. So a really nice setup, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and move on to alternative materials. When I'm talking to day hikers, people are just going out for casual strolls. They're not going to want to take too much equipment. So I'm going to ask, what are you willing to take with you? And so I'm going to try to give them some different options. Have at least something to get outside, get away from the elements in case things go foul. So I'm going to show you how to do a lean-to configuration. You can also do the A-frame and you can also do the plow point, but this time I'm going to show you the lean-to configuration. Okay, so I think this is about as low grade as you can get. Definitely not ideal. Is it something? Yeah. As long as the wind doesn't whip up too much. I can get out of the elements. I can make this into an A-frame. I could lay down here. If I lay down a bed of leaves, I could lay down here, feed my fire, get through the night. Okay. All right, now that we've shown a few different configurations, a couple different materials, let's go ahead and deconstruct our ridge line. All right, let's go ahead and take the tension off our tight line hitch. Once we do that, then we can go ahead and untie our knot real quick, or at least the hitch. You can see you can just easily pull the rest of our cordage through here. Feed that back through our trucker's hitch here. All right, so we undo the trucker's hitch by just pulling it apart like so. All right, so come back to the first tree. We go ahead and pull the stick out. That takes the bite out of our fixed loop. There, all undone. So let's go ahead and wrap it all up again. All right, to go ahead and wrap things back up again, let's take our 2 fixed loops that we use to attach to our shelter, slide that all the way to the beginning here where we've got our other fixed loop, which is a ball and knot. Now, to go ahead and bundle all this back up together, we're going to play Star Trek here, do the old Vulcan, live long and prosper. Take our fixed loop, slide it in between our middle finger and our ring finger, and then we're going to do a figure 8 lashing. It's like where we're going to wrap around our thumb and around our pinky, around our thumb, around our pinky, just over and over until we get to the end of the line, and then I'll show you how we're going to bind it all together. All right, now because this cordage is rather long, it's getting kind of thick on my hands. So when the working end gets, close to my feet, I'm going to go ahead and start wrapping this thing up. So what I'm going to do now, because it's about at my feet now, I'm going to go ahead and take all of this off my fingers, like so. Now we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. All right, so just take our cord, take the working end here, wrap it around like so. And then what I like to do, I just kind of spin it like so to keep it nice and neat. All right, now to finish it off, we're going to use a clove hitch. To do the clove hitch, what we're going to do is take the working end, we're going to start our X, it's like going out toward the loops, the bites. Then we're going to come back and crisscross it. And see how I've made that X pattern right there? Now I'm going to take the working end and I'm going to tuck that underneath those two. Like so. See right there? I've just crossed it underneath through there, and that tightens up. All right, so there we have it. That's a down and dirty on how to carry and make some type of shelter on a day hike. Okay, I hope this gives you guys ideas. I hope this gives you the confidence to head out a little bit further to see new sights, have new adventures. And for those of you that are more experienced, hey, please, what are your suggestions on what would you carry on a day hike? Again, keep in mind, this is for your casual hiker. Again, we're using silent walking nowadays. All right, so thanks you so much for tuning in. I hope you guys have a wonderful week and take care now. Bye.